What's up guys, Sub-Zero here. If you guys didn't watch it last night, it was the finals of the DSG trials. I covered a game from day 1 yesterday, and today is a game from the final day, day 2. Spoiler alert as we roll down into the scores. Milk ended up winning the entire tournament, but we're not actually going to watch Milk because another player, Brosif, relatively unknown player, one of the lab members, which is sort of like a TFT clan of sorts, a bunch of people who, you know, like play together and study together. Brosif actually ended up going the highest score total overall. They did not win because we were playing checkmate formats in the final day, so someone had to actually win the final lobby to win out, and Brosif's scores didn't line up the way that he would have wanted to. He actually went first twice earlier in the day, so ideally moved those first to the end, and it actually would have been a win out from Brosif. But either way, I thought we could watch some of Brosif, and I just pulled this game up. I looked at the final comp, and ooh, is it a spicy one. Brosif is on TF, it looks like, in this game. Yeah. So one of the TF players this tournament is almost entirely TF and URF. There are a few people playing Toro. Actually, I don't know if that's even a true state. I'm pretty sure it's all TF and URF. Milk was even on TF and then pivoted to URF at the end of the tournament because he was, you know, afraid that to get a first, you know, like if you're playing TF, you're going to oftentimes be contested in multicaster reroll here. We do end up getting an extra TF in this spot here, so it could actually be a TF game from this spot, and we are scouting around here to see how contested it's going to be. The problem is that this is Placidium Library, which is really not beneficial if you want to play around multicaster reroll, because they don't really use any spats very well. You can use a strategist spat like somewhat, but like really not very good. So wow, this is actually really interesting. Because I think we're in Placidium, Brosif's going to opt to just play around Graves here and play for more of like a Graves reroll angle. 3 Graves at 2-1 and able to make 10. I didn't see what component he saved there, actually. I guess we'll see after this. Oh, and there's a Piltover player, and I think I forget who was playing Piltover in this spot. But I believe it looks like it was someone who, because they're so like communicating about it, it's probably someone who, if they had won this game, would have won the lobby. I'd have to imagine, because you know, they're freaking out about this person who's playing Piltover. So yeah, it looks like he held a glove there to look for, I don't know, potentially Hodge. I'm surprised he didn't hold sword. I think a lot of people, when they play around Graves, BIS is like Starax BT, like Starax BT +1. Curious actually, see what the Explorer says about if I look up Graves 3. I'll look up Graves 3 in the Tactics Stat Tools Explorer really quick and see what it says. Because yeah, I'm surprised about these rerolls. 5 Graves though to start the game off. And oh yeah, the Explorer's been really annoying recently, so I can't even look it up. Madge. Well, in any case, we do have a really good Grave start, and he is going to opt for the Hodge. He also made his board artificially weaker to the point here that actually no. He could have actually sold out here, but he knew that he was going to. I'm not sure what this is here actually. Why he fielded this board instead of making 20. Kind of surprised. Maybe that's a mistake, or maybe he really wanted to hold some of these other units. I'd be surprised if he wanted to hold other units though. Yeah, Tactics.tools is like dead. Okay, so I can't even look at Graves BIS, which was actually, I remember now, this was trolling me the other night when I was playing. Gets another glove, so maybe going for like IE, unless he's like item holding someone else. Yeah, I think he wants. I mean, at this point, he should just play for strongest board, right, and make 30. Because there's no loss streak to play for anymore. Ideally, you'd actually like win streak from this spot. But no, he's going to keep griefing so that he can potentially grief. I guess this is Bosso skills here. Yeah, I think potentially, what the hell? Wait. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, he was just actively trying to. He knew that if he like played around Graves, he put the Graves on his board, like he could actually make a weaker board, and so he was actively trying to grief Bosso skills. That's why he played that previous board. And Bosso actually really messed up there. If you guys saw, he had a Piltover spat, so he had the ability to toggle Piltover on or off whether he wanted to after seeing the fight. But he misjudged that fight and thought that he was actually going to lose it. He then won that fight and cracked his own loss streak. So really unfortunate for Bosso there, because yeah, I assume. Let me pull up the score sheet and let me look at Bosso's scores. Yeah. Okay, so this is, I think, maybe, yeah, this is game 4. So Bosso went first, third, and then second. So if Bosso had won this game, the tournament would be over. Bosso would have won after game 4, which is kind of crazy. So I think it makes perfect sense that Broseph is in this spot, just full on griefing Bosso here, because yeah, if Bosso wins, it's just GG's. So he's going for this Hodge IE setup, which I mean I think is a pretty solid setup on Graves. He's gonna roll a little bit here, ends up finding a Jinx here. Really just wants to find Graves 3 because we're one off Graves, and boom, there's Graves 3. Before we find anything else, we actually don't have any of the other like parts of the board. Yeah, it's actually really awkward. Like we don't have 4 Sins. So like we're playing this random like Quinn on our board right now, which is actually hilarious. But yeah, really early Graves, pretty fortunate early shops, I would say, to be able to get to this point, but also really smart to see that like it doesn't actually make sense to play TF from this spot. You can play Graves and then guarantee either a Rogue spat or like a Gunner spat later with Placidium, and it's gonna be much stronger. So I think that makes perfect sense. And I'm grabbing for a ton of items I don't even hate. Buried Treasures is actually technically even more components, so I guess if you wanted Grab, you'd probably take Buried Treasures. Looks like he wants neither. Zaun Crown, though. So this is the angle that he sees, and this is why when I was, like, tabbing through the games and I saw that, you know, like, this was his final game, or, like, the board that he ended up this game, I said, I have to review this. Zaun Crown here. What's really insane about getting Zaun Crown here, which is not an augment that, you know, under normal circumstances you would pick. I wonder what the stats actually say about it. What's really insane, though, is we're in Placidium, so we can guarantee the second Zaun spat after Carousel here, which is actually just completely nuts, because now we're guaranteed to be able to play for 6 Zaun. That, I feel like, tends to be the weakness of Zaun Emblem, is that you aren't guaranteed that you can play for anything. Like you can't guaranteed play for 6 Zaun with just the +1. You need +2 to actually play 6 Zaun. And 6 Zauns, when Zaun goes crazy, overcharges all the emblems, and it also gives you like 5 Zaun emblems or 5 Zaun mods or something like that. Actually, completely nuts. I think, did he just type bow here? Maybe sword. They're like, actually he's trying to grief Bosso's component here by making sure that, like, you know, Bosso doesn't get what he needs off Carousel. That's the crazy thing about checkmate format, is that I think in this spot maybe only it looks like everyone's trying to grief Bosso, so it looks like only Bosso. If it's only Bosso that needs to win the game, then everyone can just sort of like actively grief him, which is pretty wild. Okay, so he has this chase pair. He's gonna roll a little bit, find for Rogue. And then I assume we're going to go for another Zaun spat here to complete the 6 Zaun. We don't actually have it yet. So maybe he's thinking that he can wait here, because like there's actually no reason to make it so far. But I feel like it's always going to be Zaun Emblem here, just because of the power of 6 Zaun. Though we'll see. We will see. I don't think I've even had the chance to play 6 Zaun this set yet in 9.5. So, you know, I don't know how familiar Broseph is on the line, especially because Broseph is a TF player. It's not like he's this ERF player who maybe, you know, there's a higher chance he's played this line. He's literally playing TF, so like there's no chance. I would say that he's that comfortable on the line. Maybe he's played it like once before or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. We have the 4 Rogue at this point. We just want to push level 7, find 1 Silco, get our 6 Zaun in, and then I would imagine we're just going to slow roll on 7 for Echo 3, like Katarina 3, maybe Jinx 3, maybe Jace 3. You could maybe push levels. So yeah, and our augments, by the way, are Shimmer Injector, and then it's the purple one on Jinx, which I'm actually not sure which one that is. It could be the burn one, the virulent. It's either burn or what else is pink? Because Shimmer's red. So is burn, or is purple virulent? As you can see, like little thing under them tells you what Zaun mod it is. But like honestly, I am not a Zaun player at all, because I think Zaun kind of stinks for the most part. So yeah, you can tell I'm not that practiced on it. So okay, this is actually really smart. He's gonna wait here. He's gonna not push level yet. He's gonna wait 1 round and then decide to push levels after that, because he knows that he's, 1, his board is really strong right now, and 2, he's like, I mean, he's pretty wealthy. He could go 7 here, but yeah, he just knows that like he doesn't actually need to spike his board that hard right now. So yeah, he's gonna decide to sack 1, though he does take a lot of damage for it. Wow. Okay. I mean, I don't know. In hindsight, I mean, if you level here and roll, maybe you hit. I actually would be interested in Bronze Ticket there. Maybe he's gonna go for Leech though, which is another pretty straightforward idea. Finds an Aphelios, but yeah, I mean, I guess you could go Gunner +1 here, but that's so bedge. It would be like, it's definitely gonna make your board the strongest right now. But, like, I don't know, the 6 Zaun, like, has win-out potential. I feel like he would go for that. So, yeah, he doesn't... I don't know, maybe he's not looking for 3 stars this game, outside of the ones that he already has. Because I feel like Bronze 2 would allow you to hit everything, and I'm really not that crazy about Cybernetic here. I think it's... I think it's really good in Rogue, so maybe it's worth it. I find myself almost never taking this augment. I think the stats on it look pretty bad. I guess you are going to get a ton of items, and he already has a ton of items this game. So I think that's the idea. Ooh, and he is able to get BIS for Echo, Double Hodge, JG. This is like way back in the day. For people who played like Echo Reroll, this is what you would put on your Echo. So it makes a lot of sense. Like he already has all this healing. I don't know. And like with this, I feel like that means we are definitely looking for Echo 3. Okay. I mean, maybe he just thinks this augment is too good, and wow. I mean, that amount of Omnivamp on Graves with the Shimmer Injector did a ton of work there. So maybe it is. Maybe it is this augment. It's a really interesting decision. It looked like he maybe just didn't like Bronze Ticket very much because he rolled over it pretty quickly. It's not like he thought about it that much. And at this point, I guess we'll go for Katarina. You can go for Katarina or Jinx items. He has 6 Jinxes, right? Did I see that correctly on his... yeah, he has 6 Jinxes. And he's going to get another one off Carousel, so now he has 7 Jinxes. Yeah, you can just go try to itemize Jinx at this point. Probably like Renan's tends to be really good on her. I guess you could go like sort of like flat AD stuff. He has a bow. He could even just make the GS here. Will be interesting to see what he makes. Because yeah, I think it's virulent on the Jinx. I don't know. If not, someone in chat will... or in YouTube comments will correct me, surely. We're fighting this. Ooh, this is an interesting double bruiser spat, or that it looks like they didn't hit Cho, so they're just tempo. They don't Cho 3, right? So it's just tempo bruisers. Just pushing levels with double bruiser spat, which is pretty cool. I think this is something that like a lot of times, especially myself in the past, I would like see that I have a bruiser spat and be like, okay, I have to play around Cho, but that's not actually necessarily the case. Like just because you have bruiser spat doesn't mean you have to play around Cho. You can just play around, like vertical bruisers as a very strong front line and play some other comp, which is what we're gonna do, or what that player is gonna do. Fighting into multicasters here, pretty scary matchup. But oh my god, the Shimmer Injector healing the Graves to full actually does so much work, and now DP's down to like 1 HP. Bosso ends up being sent 8th. He's oh, you can't see chat, but he almost typed in chat well done to people for griefing Bosso and griefing him out of being able to go first. Because yeah, like I said, this checkmate format, it incentivizes griefing actually in a spot like this, because you need to make sure that the person who is at check does not win, or else the tourney is over. So he's thinking about playing Rod here. Interesting. Gonna go for Hodge. Okay, so he's just gonna completely ignore Jinx items altogether, and just go for items on his assassins here. He doesn't think Jinx items are that important. It's interesting because we're pretty close to Jinx. Continuing to roll here. Still no anything here. Still no the main thing that we're looking for is the Silco here, and still not a single Silco. Rolled so much gold at level 7. It's a bronze ticket diff, all I'm saying. No. But like, I mean, it's actually pretty surprising that he has not hit a single Silco yet, because he's rolled a lot of gold. And I guess this Rod is just gonna end up being Ionic Spark for Katarina, so he's just gonna greed for that. I mean, Deathcap's not even that bad. Finds the Jinx. Okay, and there's the Silco. Finally, we can make the Zaun emblem, but I think he just realized that he probably wanted to Zaun emblem this Katarina. So now he's going to have to... Okay, we have Robo Arm, Exoskeleton. I mean, he's probably... I mean, this is... Yeah, okay, so Exoskeleton there, Adaptive there, and Robo Arm there. What is the... Wouldn't you want Robo Arm on Jinx? I mean, Robo Arm can kind of go on anyone, but yeah, we do finally have our 5 Zaun mods that are all overloaded. End up actually losing this fight, which is incredible. It's going to be interesting to see if he actually goes for Zaun on Katarina. I would imagine you would want some kind of Zaun mod on your Katarina 3 when he hits Katarina 3. Okay, so yeah, it was virulent on Jinx. He's gonna put Shimmer Injector there. Virulent. Oh yeah, virulent there, and then yeah, that's okay. I like this a lot. Yeah, virulent on the Silco. He's gonna spread really well. Robo Arm here, and then the one that heals you, Adaptive Implant there. Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. And maybe we could Adaptive Implant the Katarina later. I do really like Shimmer Injector on this Graves, because it just makes him unkillable. But I guess we'll see. But yeah, like, if we never slam this other component, we can always just pop off an item from Katarina once we make Katarina 3 by just moving the Zaun mod to the Katarina that's on bench, and it'll pop off the single component. I wonder if that's what he wants to go for here, because I do think he probably messed up putting triple item on Katarina. Like, I think he does. Like, surely you want his on mod. Ooh, wait, this is spicy. So he takes Piltover, off carousel, which you would think like, okay, why does he want Piltover? Like that, like is he really gonna try to get Piltover in here? No, it's because he has Pandora's items. So he can actually re-roll this Piltover emblem into a Zaun emblem, or Rogue emblem, actually. Anything that's uncraftable, this Piltover emblem can roll into. You see, like, all of these emblems have this sort of gray background versus, like, the Shreem and the Juggernaut. Since these are craftable, they have, like, the colored background. So all the gray ones can roll into all of the gray ones. So it can roll into Rogue or Zaun, which I imagine are the only two that we would want here. I'm not sure if there's anything else you would want here. I mean, Slayer? Yeah. You could take Slayer +1. Okay, and he does end up just going for the Slayer here. He's also going to roll because it is pretty scary. Hits Echo 3. I'm really curious. He does have the extra Kiana. Oh, he's not even going to roll to 10 here. 1 off Katarina 3. He just says, okay, Echo 3 is probably enough to stabilize me for this one round, which hopefully that's actually the case. This is Emperor, who I'm trying to remember if we won or lost versus them last time we fought, but this is the double Bruiser Spat. Ends up being Bruiser Neela and Bruiser Belveth, which is pretty incredible. But the fight's actually not even close. Top 4 is secured here, and now it's just how good of a placement can we play for. But yeah, he is going to pop this Zaun emblem off, but he realizes that he needs to put it on bench, or else it's going to reroll. So yeah, very careful to not let that reroll. I mean, in hindsight, the Slayer Spat Jinx looks really good, actually. I think this is a very good call. And now he's just probably looking for Jinx item, I would think. Oh, or that works as well. Yeah, put that on Silco. I mean, you would really want a Jinx item, but he doesn't actually have anything very good for Jinx. So we just go for the Adapticone Silco. And finally, we've hit our 6 on board. We have Zaun emblems on all of our units, all of our upgraded units, and now we can really let this board go off. But yeah, like what a cool angle this is, right? Like I feel like so few people. I've seen 6 on so little this set because of the fact that you need to hit 2 emblems to play it, and it's also they're both uncraftable. Like it's actually insane. Wow, he is really sweating this checkmate stuff. By the way, look, he said, oh, it just disappeared. But he said, he typed in chat, if Milk goes 4 here, he doesn't have checkmate. So he's saying like if somebody can if somebody can beat Milk here, or if someone can survive, like do everything in your power to make Milk go 4th here, because it'll deny him checkmate, which is like really smart stuff. I wonder if Milk did end up going 4th here. I don't know if it ends up making a difference. No, oh my god, Milk ends up living here. It's a pipe dream. And so yeah, Milk gets checkmate in this spot. And I guess he can make Hodge onto Jinx here. Fine, solid item onto her. Not amazing, but not terrible. So yeah, it ends up just being him and Milk in this spot. He's gonna roll a little bit, just to try to find something to add, because he does have just this +1 open slot on his board right now. But yeah, I mean, Milk's board is Milk's just Pandora's onto this this Neela unit, which honestly I would expect. Oh my god, his lower cap, what an ult from that Echo. I thought I was like, I was surprised that that fight was close. But yeah, what a cool game from Broseph. Really creative, and just shows how he got to such an insane scoreline. Like, he was the most consistent player on the day, just a little bit unfortunate with checkmate format that he doesn't end up winning out. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch and all my other links down below. Thank you.